Welcome to Small Arms Solutions. Today we're looking at another manufacturer that I think is a very well-kept secret in the industry, Black Rifle Arms. I've done several videos on them in the past, on their cap system, their combat adaptive piston systems, as well as their low-profile gas systems. Basically what Black Rifle Arms is, there's a gentleman named Charlie Castle who's out of Florida. And what he's done is he has spent his time developing external piston systems for this platform, his own type of an external piston system. He has had a few different ones in the past, and I've had an opportunity to look at a lot of different systems, and I saw with his a tremendous amount of potential. Very, very well made, very, very well thought out, durable systems, low profile. He's been able to adapt them from 5.56 to 300 blackout to 7.62 by 39, and to what we're looking at today is the 308 Winchester. And these systems are extremely efficient, very well made, and he's got a couple of his own little things that he's added to this thing too to make this thing a little even more special. So the rifle that we have here, unfortunately, we're going to be looking at some photographs of the gas system due to the fact that these are held on with six different. These are held on with 6 different screws here, and they're pretty well torqued in place, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get off. So we're going to be able to show you what that gas system looks like. The gas system does not really need to be taken apart to be cleaned. In order to replace, there are different gas valves, as we see right here. This is the actual gas valve itself. These can be had by him for specific loads. Say you're a military or a police agency where you're using a specific load, suppressed and unsuppressed. He will be able to provide that for you. These are 4 positions. You have a position that's completely off. You have a position for normal use of ammunition, and you have a reduced for suppressor, and you have a setting for adverse conditions as well. It gives you all 4. And again, they generally work pretty good the way that it comes from, but he can finely tune these for your ammunition as well. Now, the system that is the host for his system is the Aero Precision. The upper receiver comes as a whole. Over the years, Charlie has offered these as upgrade systems. There's been issues found with being able to have them placed or installed correctly and competently with the systems working. There has been some changes in barrels. And again, trying to manufacture something that will fit every barrel is difficult because not everybody uses the same drawings and has the same dimensions. So he felt that it was better, again, for his own sake of having a reputation for an incredibly well-designed weapon to maintain the reliability, the accuracy, the precision, and the durability, what he is known for. He's decided he's no longer going to offer them as kits, and he's going to offer them as complete upper receivers, which is what he did here. The lower receiver is a basic Aero Precision M5 lower receiver. Nothing special about it at all. All the magic takes place up in the top. Now, we have an ASR mount on here because I use the silencer co-suppressors. The suppressor that we're using on this one is a LMT Advanced Technologies, which is a reverse flow sound suppressor. The barrel is manufactured by Black Rifle Arms. Material is 4150 chrome moly vanadium, a barrel length of 16 inches with mid-length gas system. One of the things that Charlie has done with most of his platforms is he's gone with a mid-length gas system, which makes a more reliable system. It's a much better balanced system. It's bentonite coated inside and out. The contour is a medium profile. It's chambered for 308 Winchester, which is, as you may or may not know, if you have a 308 chamber, it will chamber both 5. If you have a 308 chamber, it'll take both 7.62 NATO as well as 308. The 308 Winchester specifications for ammunition is hotter than that of the 7.62 by 51, so it will take both 308 as well as 7.62 millimeter ammunition. And again, the thread is 5/8 by 24, which you can put pretty much any sound suppressor that you can imagine on it. Again, the lower receiver, standard 7075 T6 aircraft aluminum, Aero M5. Of course, I placed the Magpul Myad grip on here myself. This is my choice of all pistol grips. STR stock. This does have the standard mil spec receiver extension on here with a shorter buffer. Charlie is able to control with gassing the cycling of the operation, so you don't have any issues with bolt carrier mounts. By adjusting the gas system, you don't have that over gassed situation that you have with a normal rifle that's self-regulated. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this apart and take a look at some of the parts on the inside. Okay, taking a look at the lower receiver, Basically, we have, again, the Aero Precision M5 flower, and the buffer that we're using here is a standard. This would be a typical, what you would use for a 308 type rifle using a mil-spec receiver extension. Again, there is a separate one that can be used. It works very well mostly for the military rifles that will use it, who use this platform. It's longer, so it will take a standard M4 length buffer. But again, this works out properly with this system the way that it's gassed. The trigger assembly that you have in here, this is basically just a nickel boron, this is a WRC nickel boron trigger group. This is about 6.5 pounds. Very smooth trigger. Standard mil-spec type charging handle. Carriers where this gets a little bit different. The carrier is proprietary to Charlie, to Black Rifle Arms, and if you notice, we got a black bumper on here. This is this basically is cut shorter to accept this nylon bumper in the back. Basically, what this does is it works as a shock absorber. This is also something that helps this thing work very well for as far as recoil and not having carrier bounce. This thing here has less friction when it goes into the rear, and it also absorbs shock when it goes into its full recoil position. Now, so far as I know, and as far as I've shot so far, I've never seen one of these wear out. These can be replaced if need be. This is a nickel boron type carrier. The bolt that he has on here is a upgraded dual ejector. One of the more durable, reliable. It gets those cartridge cases out of there a lot quicker, especially if you have a higher socket rate. It's very much of a reliability enhancement. That's nickel boron as well. Basically what we have here is the gas system, and it's adjustable so you can take a projectile, you can stick it in, you pull out, and you can rotate. Basically, you have a large round hole, which is your indicator, and you have your 4 positions. And again, you have normal, you have adverse, which is higher pressure, you have lower power for suppressed, and you have one that's basically to shut it off. And to take apart this gas system, I would have to remove all 6 of these screws. These are all torqued down quite well. But if we take a look, when you look through here, you can see the operating rod and the operating rod spring that's in here. If we were to be able to take this off, you'd be able to pull rearward on the recoil spring, and it would lift right out. And then, of course, this is held in place that you could remove this to change out your valve. Not much of a reason to take this apart until you have extreme use out of it. Again, you can do this, but you would have to, break the Loctite on those, and then torque them back down, and then put your Loctite back on those, like you would any hanger. Nothing special to this particular one. But using a low-profile gas block, the other thing that he does, which I like, is he drills and pins these. He uses spring pins instead of roll pins, which is fine. That's a reliability enhancement to be sure that as this thing is cycling, that gas block is never going to move forward. So that's another major benefit that he has done with this for reliability and durability. So I think we're going to take this to the range, and we're going to see how it shoots. Well, we had shot about 200 rounds out of this. Most of it was Remington UMC 150 grain full metal jacket, and we had some Black Hills 175 grain open tip match. The best group that we got was .89 inches at 100 yards. Now, we had shot several groups that were sub MOA. They were sub 1 inch. So this gun is perfectly capable of shooting sub MOA accuracy with proper ammunition. So overall, reliability was wonderful. Once it was set, you have it set properly. This will cycle any ammunition that you have, higher ammunition, lower power ammunition, suppressed. And if you were to get this and you were to have a specific issue with a suppressor combination, you'd be able to get a hold of Charlie and say, hey, this is the problem that I got. And he would be able to basically set you up with a gas block that was tuned for your specific use of the ammunition and sound suppressor combination that you were using. You know, I've been asked over the years, internal piston versus external piston. I make no qualms about it that I'm an internal piston fan. I think that it does everything that needs to be done. It does it very well. However, external piston, there are people who want it. There are foreign militaries who want it. There was a contract that LMT did with Estonia who required an external piston because of health reasons. They claim that the internal piston puts more lead and barium into the shooter's face than the external piston does. However, these are two different mousetraps to get the same job done. This rifle here, when it's tuned properly, very low recoil. It's fairly low recoil compared to some of the other rifles that are internal piston. They're self-regulated. There are other external piston versions of the AR-10 type rifle out there, considering the SIG 716, the HK417, even the POF external piston versions. They all have their own places. They all work quite well. I've become very fond of this one just due to the fact that it's very well designed. You have lighter recoil. I will say, if you compare it to something like the SIG or the HK, there's a lot more recoil on those, perhaps because those are more designed for military use. They're overgassed. This one just tends to be a lot more comfortable to shoot, but you do have an option here that's American-made. It's made here in Florida. It's very reliable, very durable. Its cost is not nearly as high as some of those other options that you would have, but it will do the exact same job, and the accuracy is quite well there. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please click like, please subscribe, and even better, share. Thank you.